What's up guys, Elbareth here, and welcome to Elbareth's Guide to patch 5.0.4. So the first thing we need to talk about is the new changes you're going to notice immediately as soon as you log onto the live servers. And the biggest one I think is going to be that you no longer have a minimum range. You can just walk up to things and shoot in the face. Also, you will be just using primarily your ranged weapon. You have no use for a melee weapon. So with that, they are going to buff the stats of your ranged weapon, which is pretty nice. And all of your talents and all of your glyphs are going to be completely wiped, and the new talent system and new glyph system will be in place. Now with this patch, we're getting the brand new talent system. So we're all going to have to respec and figure out which choices are going to be the best for our raid. Well, luckily enough, I've gone through this and I've looked for the best options that a raider right now can pick and it can benefit their raid. So instead of going through all the talent choices, we're just going to focus on the ones that I think and other raiders think are going to benefit you most in a raiding situation. So our first tier is the one you get at level 15. And this is basically our disengage tier. This is where we get all our nifty little disengage abilities. And the one that I am choosing is post haste. Now, the speed boost after this, you get a speed boost after you disengage, is pretty amazing. It can be so useful on a lot of fights where you need to get to point A and point B very quickly. Not only do you disengage, you also have the speed boost after it. So I think it would be highly beneficial to take this talent. Now the next tier, which is the one you get at level 30, is one that you have a lot of choices in. So you could take all three of these for a raiding situation, and all three of them would have a benefit in some way. Silencing Shot would be the one I'm probably going to take just because it's an interrupt. In a 25-man raid, I really don't need to be the one interrupting, but it's just there to just be a help, because don't really need a CC in a raiding situation, and Binding Shot, there's not going to be really any use for it. But again, this is the tier you can just pick and choose from. The 45 tier, the level 45 tier, this is where it's going to get a little bit interesting. So this is going to be our defensive cooldown tier, or what gives us our defensive abilities. Now, these are a little bit tricky because this is going to depend on the fight. And this is what I really like about MOP, is that you're going to have to spec according to the fight, not according to what's going to do the most damage. Now, currently I'm going to be going with Spirit Bond. This offers the most overall healing, and really is probably the best choice for most fights now in Dragon Soul. Aspect the Ironhawk is good for raids when we're going to be taking a lot of unavoidable damage, but Spirit Bond overall is going to be the one that's going to be helping us out. Now these next two tiers at level 60 and level 75 actually contribute to our DPS as a whole. So the first tier, level 60, we have 3 talents which all involve our focus strand in some way. So the one that we want to take is Dire Beast. Currently, with the tier 13 2-step tier bonus, we're going to be swimming in focus, so we really don't need Fervor. It'd actually be a waste. Thrill the Hunt is also going to be a waste. So Dire Beast will be the best choice because it will do the most DPS. It's still going to be just too much focus. We're just going to have so much focus until MOP is actually released. So the level 75 tier, we actually have 2 options. So if you are a Marks Hunter or Survival Hunter, you're going to want to take a Murder of Crows. That will be the highest DPS choice for that, for those 2 specs. But if you're a BM Hunter, you're going to want to take Lynx Rush. This will do more DPS because your pet does more DPS as a BM Hunter. So now that we're all properly spec'd, we need to talk about 2 really important things, and that is our hit ratings and our expertise ratings. So hit ratings have changed, which we've already had hit, so we already know how to deal with that stat. But expertise is something new in patch 5.0.4, and luckily both of these little caps are at the same cap, which is 769 hit rating, 769 expertise rating. Unless of course you're a Draenei, which means your hit cap should be 666, and if you're a Dwarf and Troll, your expertise cap will be 666 because of the racials. So a little bit about expertise. It's a little bit hard to hit right now. There's no gear with expertise on it that's male, so it's really, really hard to hit that expertise cap. If you have a higher gear level, like a lot of heroic pieces, you can reforge out a lot of secondary stats to get that expertise level, but you're not going to quite get them to maximum DPS. So you're going to be a lot over on either expertise or a lot over on hit. It really doesn't matter at this point though, because we have, you know, very little time until the new expansion's out. But for now, as a hunter in patch 5.0.4, you want to go for a 769 hit rating, a 769 expertise rating, unless of course you are a dwarf, a troll, or a draenei. So the final thing we need to talk about in the new patch is the new rotations that we're going to get because of the new abilities that we're getting. So I'm going to go through each spec one by one and tell you a little bit about them and tell you which is probably going to do the best DPS. So we're going to start with BM. Now with BM, we picked up 2 new talents, which is Dire Beast and Lynx Rush. So we need to use both of these on cooldown, but we cannot delay our kill command. So our rotation is virtually the same as a regular BM rotation, except that we have to use Dire Beast and Lynx Rush when they're on cooldown. Now I've been working with this. It is not too hard at all. You just gotta watch 2 little extra buttons, not too bad. It actually makes the rotation a little bit more fun, and your damage, it really improves. So the burst rotation for this is a little bit tricky because we do have readiness, and it's a little bit weird as a BM hunter to have readiness. You're not so used to it. What I recommend though is going to a training dummy and just basically working out your burst rotation until you can do it with your eyes closed. I mean, with your feet. It's just work it out and make it feel natural to you. So our next specialty we're going to talk about is survival. This is the second best DPS spec at the moment, BM being the best. The survival rotation again is virtually the same rotation, except we need to use Dire Beast and Murder of Crows on cooldown. Lock and load now is so much better because we can no longer clip our lock and load dots, so you can just spam lock and load as much as you want, unless of course with our focus regen being so high at the moment, your focus cap, which of course you just hit explosive shot, arcane shot, explosive shot to bleed off some of that focus. But again, it's basically the same rotation except we need to use Dire Beast and Murder of Crows on cooldown, but we cannot delay our explosive shot or black arrow to do so because explosive shot and black arrow take priority over Dire Beast and Murder of Crows. Now for the marksmanship rotation, don't know that there's going to be too many hunters being marksman because it is the lowest DPS spec right now, and it's the lowest by quite a lot. Not to the point where it's like the old BM, but it's still a little low there on the charts. Again, basically the same rotation, except we're going to use Dire Beast and Murder Crows on cooldown. They're basically 2 new cooldowns you get. Almost, in my opinion, is like an engineering Synapse Springs, which I'm an engineer, so I'm used to. But improved Steady Shot is being replaced by Steady Focus. So when you Steady Shot twice in a row, your range speed, attack speed will increase by 15%, and your Steady Shot will generate 3 additional focus for 10 seconds. It's a much better ability, but again, we're going to be focus cap quite a lot just because of our tier 13 bonus, and Dire Beast gives back focus. So again, almost the same rotation, but there's going to be a ton of new things mixed in there. You're going to get your free aim shot proc, you're going to get your free Dire Beast every 30 seconds, and kill shot mixed in there. It's a mess rotation right now. It's really clunky, and it's going to take a high skill cap probably to master, which if that's your thing, go ahead and do it. But again, you're not going to see as much DPS as a survival or BM hunter at this moment. So yeah, that's about it with the rotations. I just really get to the training dummies and really work it out for your next raid. A few things I noticed last night raiding as BM. Kill command is broken, so it's really broken right now. It cannot target things. Basically, we think it's a pathing issue, so anything a warrior can charge or heroic leap, we can hit with kill command. But if you can't, like the arms on Madness, Atraxian is broken, a few Drakes on Warmaster Blackhorn is broken, we cannot use kill command. Hopefully there is a blue post, they said that we're going to try and fix it. Hopefully it's fixed by tonight for any raiding, but don't count on it, so you might want to go survival for any of those fights where your pet cannot use kill command. So the final thing we need to talk about is the glyphs, and why I bring them up last is because they are changed to where no longer do we have any glyphs that really improve our DPS at all. They're more situational glyphs, we have a lot of fun, casual kind of glyphs, but So we're going to talk about the major glyphs that I think you might need for raiding. So the first one we have is Glyph of Animal Bond. While your pet is active, all healing done to you and your pet is increased by 10%. The next one is Chimera Shot, increases all healing you receive from Chimera Shot by additional 2% from your maximum health. Glyph of Disengage, you increase the travel. Glyph of Endless Wrath, Glyph of Mark of Death. And then the rest, it's really situational, so I encourage you to go check out all the glyphs you can get them all, and use them to what you think you need to use them for. There's not going to be any right answer or wrong answer. It's just going to be what you feel comfortable with and what you think you need to use. And I also encourage you to get the glyph, the firework glyph, because that's pretty nifty to use in the auction house and stuff when you're just doing some auctions. But yeah, that's about it for this guide. I encourage you to comment on this video, ask questions. I'll be glad to answer them. I love talking hunter stuff. So make sure to like and subscribe to this channel, and I will see you later.